afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Spilling Tea. I am your host, Tiffany Daniels, and I want to talk about something a little bit differently today. Something has been bothering me ever since the vaccine for COVID-19 has come out, and that is there doesn't seem to be any plan in place for people with physical disabilities and accessibility to the vaccine. So, what I mean is, when you have a physical disability, it's not as simple as simply hopping into your car and going to your closest doctor or vaccine station in order to receive your shots. For people with physical disabilities who don't necessarily have access to neighbors or have access to family members to be able to give them transportation in order to receive the shot. For those who don't have access to a bus system that they can utilize to go and get the shot, what are we going to do with those folks in regards to getting the vaccines to them if they do not have the transportation to go and get it? Now, there has been some talk in some circles in regards to extremely limiting transportation or people coming out of the homes if they don't get the shot. Here's the problem with that. If you are a person with a physical disability who cannot just simply go out and get the vaccine shot like your normal abled folks, and they don't have somebody who would be able to transport them, are we really going to penalize these folks due to the fact that they have a disability which prohibits them from the ability to go out and get the vaccine? So, I started doing a little research right before I started this video. And a question I asked is right up here, you can see it. Accessibility of COVID-19 vaccine for people with physical disabilities. I'm going to scroll through here and let's see if you all can see the problem. Look at this. Doesn't address it. None of these common questions are addressing it. Not addressing it. Accessible communication really has nothing to do with it. Again, accessible buildings, but no way to get to said buildings. Again, and again, and again. So, the gaping hole that I'm seeing with this vaccine is that for people with physical disabilities who do not have ready access to transportation to go and receive their shot are looking at a huge problem. So, since we can't really trust the government to come up with some kind of infrastructure of some kind so that there will be accessibility to these shots, need to start thinking about how we can reach these folks so that they're able to go out and get their vaccines. Because it is not fair or right that should a law pass where you are not really able to leave where you're at without having the shot, that people who simply can't do that are penalized for it. Now, I could be reading the room wrong, and that may not be what's actually going on. I don't know. But let's say, for the sake of argument, that it is. It should not be a penalty upon those who cannot drive and do not have ready access to transportation to be penalized for the few times they do have transport in order to be able to leave their homes to do things such as grocery shopping. What do we do? Well, my suggestions would be is that communities need to start having some kind of system, whether it's volunteers, what have you. People who will go pick these folks up, take them to get their shots. Now, most people will tell you, well, there is cab service and Ubers. People with disabilities are on extremely limited incomes. They have the kind of physical disability that keeps them from doing work. Most of the time, it's just folks who are barely making it by, and they don't really have enough to be able to throw some money at an Uber or a cab in order to get the shots. So, for those of us who are able to drive, there needs to be some kind of community something where we are able to take these folks to go and get their vaccinations. Because quite clearly, from what I am seeing here, there's not even a plan for it when it comes to government right now. Not even a way for them to maybe have it administered to them in their homes. This is a huge problem. So, we got to start coming up with some solutions so that the people who are, by the way, the folks that are most vulnerable to this virus are able to get their shots so they are not penalized for not getting them due to something they do not have control over. And that's kind of what I wanted to go over real quick with you. Now, I am going to have another video out to you in just a moment in regards to JD versus AH, maybe in about another hour or two. In the meantime, folks, we don't get that many views on this channel. The few views that we do tend to get removed by YouTube when they're not wiping my front page history clean. So if you could, please don't forget to hit the like button, hit subscribe, don't forget to hit the comments. I do appreciate your time this afternoon, and as always, folks, I do hope you have a good one. Thank you. Bye-bye.